Hit it for part 3.
Lovely Diana, rain with magic, death inducer. Darkest dreams come true, kisses for you. Her arrows darken the sky, a flight of ravens flying through. Orphic harp, dark lord melody shining through. Death inducer, raining blood, bite your lip. Bellissima in the vampire dress, cracking leather whips. Rain with your magic. Hail Satan, spells of Lucifer. Hail Satan, Catherine of the wheel. Hail Satan, the lake of fire is clear. Sing the muse. Rain with magic, death inducer. Darkest dreams come true, kisses for you. Goat head soup, it's magic. You can have a giant rubber devil in a tight dress. Whiplash. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Mr. Sandman with the hot purple anointing cream. It knocks him out. The drugs weigh a ton. Snow blonde, do your makeup. Girl, be my private dancer. Hecate says I'm her main squeeze. Lucifer the light bearer. Myrtle of Venus.
Welcome back to Lady Babylon. This is Renaissance Portal and what we're bringing you today. It's nice, people. It's nice. It's nice. It's really nice. Danny, Iron Danny Jones. I'm going to give you a little bit of Iron Danny Jones talking to the wizard. Talking to the wizard Hamilton. You know what I mean? Right? Is there a unicorn in this story somewhere? Oh my God, we're going to have to bring it all out to light. I love it. Absolutely love it. We're going to see some of Iron Danny today and some of Dr. Bart Ehrman, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. We're going to see a little bit more of that today and process. We're going to process, people, what we have done together. I want to say a shout out to those of you in hospice. Yeah. Sometimes you have to be reminded of why you do something. And your email reminds me of that on a regular basis. To everyone who was in that final stage. Yeah. I'll see you in the mother's bosom, baby. Love it. Love it. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. People, what are we here for? I just want to remind people this is not for money. This is not for money. It's not for prominence or position. Look at me. Right? What am I doing? I'm sitting in my Falcon out at the local spaceport. Do you understand? Oh, God. This is beauty, people. This is real beauty. I want to tell you, it's been my honor to be able to see strength. Right? It's been my honor. Now, people, I just want to, before we begin, I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Vlad Zelensky. And I want to say, sir, you are a true polytheist. You're a true polytheist. I love it, baby. Who did you appeal to last week? Who did you appeal to? You appealed to justice, to liberty. All of those values, those polytheistic values that belonged to the generations that started this little place. Do you understand? Who's looked back and brought democracy. So shout out. First pagan stuff I've heard, real pagan stuff. I'm not talking about any sort of hoo-ha with pageantry and costumery and BSery. I'm talking about real devotion. I thought it was great that on the field of Mars, the humans can be purified to the point of worshiping justice and calling out for her. Oh, God. I love it, people. I absolutely love it. Right? I love it. Remember the days you're in. The watchers keep telling me, congregation, they keep telling me, you got to remind them. And I'm like, what? Remind them. Yes, over and over again, from one genocide to another. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, people. My God. Now, by the way, to the university out there that I wrote to, I'm looking to bring classical, tyrant hating, dead Greeks back to that place, that field of Mars. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. What is he talking about? Shut up, Timmy. Give me this. Don't worry. There's nobody in the back seat. Oh my God. All right, Satanic Congregation, we're warmed up. We've had our play before. Fantastic. Let's get to it, Chewy. I want you to bring up Hamilton and Danny. People, let's just watch this for a couple of minutes. I love it.
Bad thing. In fact, I think it could be good, but these things are complicated.
Yeah. Amon Hillman, how did you discover him?
I'd been familiar with him for a while because he wrote this book, The Chemical Muse.
Yeah.
It's quite a while ago, actually. So I'd read The Chemical Muse, and I felt that most of the ideas that were being articulated in that book were totally believable, not particularly controversial. This idea that there was ancient Greek use of psychoactive substances of one kind or another seemed totally plausible to me. Why wouldn't there be?
Right. I loved the way he articulated.
Before we get to Danny, oh, wasn't that well said? Right? It's not fabulous, people. Why? Because the wizard knows. Look at him. I've seen video of Wizard Hamilton. I've seen him in a room with people who were more like demons in a place far, far away, sucking in the fumes of the sacred herbs. Oh, and some of them not so sacred too. I have seen it. Now, I want to commend this wizard for his fearlessness and the fact that people, I want you to contrast Hamilton with Dr. Bart Ehrman. Do we have a background? I want you to contrast Bart Ehrman, right? I want you to keep it in your mind, right? I can't. I want you to keep it in your mind. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Oh, God, it's the 1,000-year period. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're getting ready, people. I want you to see the contrast. What does Hamilton say? Hamilton says, hey, you know, it's not unreasonable, anything that's in there. Why? Because Hamilton is a reason junkie. I don't care what his background is, what his religion is. I've seen the dude in action. So have you. And he stands on reason. He stands on reason. Do you see how steady he is? How steady he is? You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Good for you, Hamilton. Hit me with some more, Chewy.
How the ancient medicine and the ancient drugs, which is like the work of Galen, the Galen literature is like 10% of all literature from antiquity, which is crazy that it's medical like literature. He explained that stuff as a guide rope that leads you through the dark cave of fairy tales. Because he uses the ancient Greek drug stuff that Galen wrote as context to everything else, all the religious stuff that was written about through antiquity, which I thought was super interesting.
It's very interesting. Yeah. And Hillman is in an interesting position that's sort of analogous to someone like John Allegro,
Mm.
or Brian Maroscu, where you have texts that the majority of readers cannot access or translate.
Right.
And so you are
Work out that commercial. Yeah, beautifully said, Danny. Beautifully said. Don't you notice too that it's becoming this conversation between the two of them? It's very, very romantic. You know what I mean? And I mean that in a kind of a cosmic, quantum packets of information forming a fabric of the universe. And what is the universe here? The universe is a sexy place, and you have the right to remain sexy. Oh, God. Anything you say or do, Danny, is going to be watched by me. Oh, God. People, do you love it? People of Satanic Congregation, please, please let Danny know the sexiness. We love it. We love it. Yeah, can you go back? Because Danny made a point that I wanted to just go back and to Danny's summary of that. Where we just started. Yeah, there you go. Oh, God. Why?
It's very interesting. Yeah.
You skip.
And
Go back. Chewie, you got to avoid these asteroids, Chewie.
is ancient Greek use of psychoactive substances of one kind or another seemed totally plausible to me. Why wouldn't there be?
Right. I loved the way he articulated how the ancient medicine and the ancient drugs, which is like the work of Galen. The Galen literature is like 10% of all literature from antiquity, which is crazy that it's medical like literature. He explained that stuff as a guide rope that leads you through the dark cave of fairy tales. Because he uses the drug.
Beautifully said, Danny. Beautifully said, right? Because you don't know as you're digging through these texts, it's like going through a cave. You're in a strange place that's thousands of years old. The people don't talk like you talk. The Greek is this complex, gorgeous lady that just radiates divinity, and plumbing those depths of those texts becomes daunting. There's one thing you can trust in. You can even close your eyes, right? You can close your eyes and trust. And what do you trust in? You trust in that language. You trust in that humanity. Yeah. Yeah. And what is the one thing about that human consciousness that is going to keep us all in a good place, that's going to keep us from getting, falling down in the cave or falling into a precipice, or, you know what I mean, or getting dragged into the back alley? What is going to stop that? Yeah. The pharmacology is just kind of the perfume of reason, right? All of that chemistry, all the physics, all the molecular biology, they all dance to a natural dance. There's reason. Hamilton can appreciate that. Danny can appreciate that reason is that line through that dark cave that's been put on the wall. You don't need to see what's in front of you, or whether you're stepping into a crevasse. You don't need to see it. You're holding the line. That line of reason is everything. And that's why these polytheists worshiped nature. Oh, God, what a glorious exercise life becomes. Not a walk of shame and sin, but a walk of education and wonderment and communion Oh God, such such a sexy language. Keep going. Let's keep going. I won't interrupt as much.
The ancient Greek drug stuff that Galen wrote as context to everything else, all the religious stuff that was written about through antiquity, which I thought was super interesting.
It's very interesting. Yeah. And Hillman is in an interesting position that's sort of analogous to someone like John Allegro, where, or Brian Maroscu, where you have texts that the majority of readers cannot access or translate.
Right.
And so you are essentially blindly basing your interpretation on the authority of someone who you don't know and don't know what their intentions are. And this is the case for a lot of things.
Sure.
It's probably the case for science for most people.
Yeah.
I'm lucky in that there is a domain where I'm able to critically assess things and look at the primary evidence and make some kind of a balanced assessment of how.
Look at the primary evidence. What is this wizard talking about? The evidence, right? The primary sources. What do I tell you people all the time? It's all about the primary sources. So much so that now sometimes you tell me, right? Hamilton, it's gorgeous stuff, baby. Look what's going on here. This is Renaissance. You want good journalistic, educational investigation. This is what you're getting. This is what you're getting from Iron Danny, right? Thank you, Iron Danny. Give me the next one.
How likely something is to be true or false. But when it comes to reading Allegro or something like that, I don't know.
Right.
I just don't know. And when you think about how complicated drugs are in our current society, as we've discussed, and how you could even look at our entire published record about drugs, and so much of it would have additional complexity that wouldn't even be evident to some 1,000 years from now, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Would they know that there are additional layers to fentanyl as a tool of propaganda, or would they just look at the superficial take on this, that fentanyl was a problem?
Yeah.
Would they
Oh my God. Is this man a nerd? Isn't that beautiful, people? Listen to him. What's coming out of his mouth? He's smart. People like this can lead. Those people that have a basis in that evidence. Do you understand? Right? Look what Danny's doing here. Danny is opening up the world. This is Renaissance, right? This is Renaissance stuff. A gorgeous conversation. Fantastic. Let's keep going. I'm going to try to keep up with what they're saying.
understand all of the legal pharmacological complexity involved in all of this? Maybe not. And so I always have avoided these debates about ancient practices because I feel that it is so hard to understand what is going on right now.
Yeah.
That what hope could I possibly have of understanding what was happening thousands of years ago?
I don't think you could possibly ever know what was happening thousands of years ago. It's just that he has the most entertaining speculations and translations of what was going on thousands of years. It's the most fun. And I have to give him credit because, I mean, first of all, I got to give you credit because I didn't know about him until I listened to your podcast with him. And I had him on after that. And that was like a wildly popular episode. And that like got me really interested in the ancient Greek stuff. And I led me on to read a lot more books and stuff on that topic. So like at the very least, whether like people want to argue whether he's mistranslating things or he has his own agenda. I mean, he very obviously self-admittedly has a bias because his dissertation, they told him he had to take all references to recreational drugs out of his PhD dissertation. Right. So he went on and did that. And then after he got his PhD, he was like, fuck this. I'm going to turn that whole part into a book about.
I have prepared a Thomas's breakfast for you to.
Yes, yes. F this indeed, Danny. Right? Can you believe that? They told me to take it out of my dissertation just because it had to do with recreational drugs. They didn't care about all the other drugs, right? It was a dissertation on Roman pharmacy. So it was covered everything they used under any circumstances, right? Right? Oh, God. It was gorgeous. And when I was told, look, you have to take out these sections on recreational drugs because the Romans just wouldn't do such a thing. Right? That's an exact quote. The Romans just wouldn't do such a thing. And I had been digging all of this time and finding all of this material, just like I have with Christ, people. Did you know one of the people, it was Bart last time. Bart said, I think this word Christ only occurs after the Septuagint, right? He's guessing. And then he proved himself to be wrong, right? Because he's talking about Euripides now. Right, that whole that whole approach to the language, that faulty approach to the language, is bad science, right? Because I can bring up a million of these references to different Christings. And what Bart said was, I wonder if you can find any example, right, where the Christing is a drug. The problem is it's 180 degrees different, Bart. You can't find any example where it's not. I even found a reference in a medical text that talks about the differences, that explains the differences. I think it was Galen's De Locis Fectis. And he talks about what's the difference between alepho, when you add an oil to somebody who's been wrestling, right? When you add an oil to somebody who's been wrestling or who's been working out, taking their bath, what are you going to do for the skin? That's alepho, right? Right? Christ is the term that when you're going to be using drugs that are mind or mood, sexual arousal. You mean Jesus wants me to have an erection? He wanted all of his boy apostles to have erections. What do you think those bandages were for, baby? Let's go, people. Now, look, I ran in with drugs and did this in classics. I'm telling you, I ran in with the drugs and did this, and now they're all, oh my God, and we're going to have people study Galen now. Right. Yeah, sure. Right. You guys suck. Well, the same thing is going on with the Christ. Same thing is going on with the Christ. We're fighting a storm here. Let me see if I can cool it down a little bit. It's the internet. Oh, it's probably, who knows? Maybe that guy blocked our waves. I don't know. Give me the keep rolling.
About racial.
Oh. Yeah, it looks like we're having some problems now, internet problems. Hold up next to us and blocked our transmission frequency. I had some choice words for the Empire. All right, let's get back to it. Let's see what Danny, and this is a fun, interesting, this is how university conversations should go. You know what I mean? It's too bad they're having to have it, on the outside as rebels. You know what I mean? But that's the way it is. Go ahead.
Recreational drugs out of his PhD dissertation.
Right.
So he went on and did that. And then after he got his PhD, he was like, fuck this. I'm going to turn that whole part into a book about all the recreational drugs that were happening or that was going on. And then he wrote that other book about ritual child, which got him in big trouble. And then he got kicked out of the university. So he's like the anti. I think he was at a religious university. I think it was University of Wisconsin. So like he became like an anti.
Yeah, just really quick. It was St. Mary's University of Minnesota. and I was teaching there in the seminary, teaching those seminarians the Bible for the first time. Oh God, they loved it. We increased our enrollment, like 5 different dioceses started sending their kids, kids, they weren't kids, they were teenagers, but 20, whatever, college age. But the cool thing is, I had a lot of success. And there's a number of seminarians out there now that can actually use the Greek. I love it. I love it. And that was the school. It was the second book, people. People ask me, what got you kicked out of there? Right? The second book that I wrote, right? A professor came to me one day and goes, this is going to get you fired, right? I was like, it was ritual child abuse that is sexual in early Christian church. Yes, in the early church, why it was that they were abusing children ritually. And it's quite frightening. It's quite frightening. By the way, but that book that was meant for everybody, right? It was meant for everybody. I had to take the footnotes, right? That was out, right? We're not worried about footnotes, right? That was edited by a Pulitzer Prize winner. Fantastic, marvelous work. So it was a real honor to be able to do that. People, let me say something really quick too. Now I better send him an email first before I say anything. Anyway, okay, let's do it. Let's keep going.
A Christian classicist. So like he has a built-in bias in his brain that wants to just utterly appall any Christian person,
which is arguably exactly what happened to Allegro as well.
Right. But like potentially a lot of the stuff he's saying is pretty spot on. Like a lot of the stuff that he talks about with Galen using these this theriac concoction of like 7 different viper venoms combined with flesh of vipers and opium in there, like, and like, first of all, how did he come up with the idea to combine all these venoms, and who did they test them on? Like, he's like, are you like, who's going to be the first test subject to try this theriac concoction? And where did you even come up with the idea in the first place? So it's like, I have.
Fantastic. That's a wonderful area of study. You can just look up all the references to the theriac using the TLG. And first of all, you'll be surprised how far it goes back. Second of all, you'll be shocked at how prevalent the science was of tweaking these 50 to 65 ingredients, right? I mean, it's amazing work. It's become such a fascination of the Roman Empire. It becomes such a fascination of the Roman Empire that the emperors are sending out basically embassies to collect the written documents that support which types of ingredients are being used. One very famous person who got swept up into it was Mithridates, right? And Mithridates had a very, very complex recipe that other people admired and wanted to use. Now, some of the emperors were actively using it, including Nero, including Marcus Aurelius. We have documents to show that they were on the theriac. Okay? Fantastic. People, right? It's just so shocking because it's you working a free all your life, manufactured, and the gadfly is to what? Do you understand? Oh, did we lose it? Oh crap! Yeah, I think we lost. Oh, we think we're back. Sorry. Chewie's fighting off the TIE fighters while we do this, people. All right. We'll get the best that we can. Holy mackerel. We'll do it under any condition. Keep rolling. Can you roll? Oh, say what again? Oh, the gadfly, people. Right. Danny's going to talk about Satan in a minute. And Satan is the one who introduced me to the gadfly. Do you understand? Think about it for a minute, people. Think about it. Who is the dude who stood against God in order to give knowledge? You know, a third of the most intelligent of creation, according to the narrative, a full third agreed with him. Yes, you see, when you find out the big folks are liars and that the faith that you're being sold is in shambles, do you want me to prove to you today that the Greek Septuagint is the original, that the Hebrew is a copy? Do you want me to prove that today? I have one verse that'll prove it to you. Oh, God. Let's roll this a little bit longer. It's gorgeous.
I have no way of telling it, like knowing if he just pulled that out of his ass or if he really translated it, but it's definitely super interesting.
It's extremely interesting. And it also speaks to a sort of tension that's become prevalent in our culture, which is I like to talk to people, even if they have really weird beliefs that I don't agree with or whatever. I just think it's interesting to talk to somebody and hear their perspective and be exercising critical thinking. It can be an encouragement to evaluate the evidence on your own and try to understand why he believes this and why it may be true or may not be true. And I think that's all. But we in general have this, like, there's this idea of platforming by is a tacit endorsement of their character and all of their beliefs. And so you should only speak to good people who you agree with, and any deviation from that represents some kind of danger. Free society. It's a bad road to go down. And
look at the gods worshipped by this wizard. Do you see? Now, why is he not reacting like the monists react to me? He knows the gadfly. He knows that I will stand or fall with reason, and he is unafraid. He is unafraid. What is it about the modern world that makes us afraid to engage? It's not a good thing. It means we're going down the wrong path. You have been taken over. Oh, God, what an incredible vision. Open my eyes, Jesus, with your chrism. Oh, God. Look, it's just cutting out. Oh, God. Should we just walk over the bench? Am I even there? Hello, people. We don't know if I'm alive or not. I'm just drifting in space here. Just drifting in space. Here we go. Go ahead, put Danny on one more time if you can.
Beliefs that are wrong. There's a lot that can be learned from it. That's interesting. I don't know. Again, with Hillman, I think he's so fascinating. I just don't to even attempt to fact check most of the claims that he's making. I did a little bit, and it seemed like what is this word? Laistace.
Laistace was a trafficker or a pirate, I think.
Yeah. So there was,
and then Jesus was in the public park, and he's like, "I'm not a Laistace."
Right. So it seems that translation of the word is child trafficker is at the very least non-standard.
Right. Right. But then you have to think, like, is it non-standard? It's non-standard depending on who you talk to as well. Like, a lot of people have a lot of here's the thing about Bible scholars too, is the majority of Bible scholars ascribe to Christianity or whatever religion that is. So, like, you're dedicating your life to the science of the history of the Bible, and you also believe in the Bible as your faith, which is weird. And these people don't want to hear anything that goes against what the conventional explanation of Jesus was, especially if you're labeling him as like a Jeffrey Epstein type character.
Right. And then, of course, the opposite is also true, where
Yes.
so you have one group of scholars that believe in Christianity and will have a bias in that direction, and then you have Hillman, and
Who's the opposite,
who's
right?
I believe satanic.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he doesn't believe Satan was he thinks Satan's a fairy tale.
Okay.
He says Hail Satan.
Yeah, he says it. That's what I was saying. He says Hail Satan.
He says Hail Satan, but he calls that, he got that from Socrates. He calls it the gadfly. He says Hail Satan, throat punch to people, because people hear it and they're like, whoa, it like blows them like off of their mind, it gets them like out of their normal frame of thinking, like what the fuck, and it gets them to pay attention.
Right.
So he thinks it's like provocative, and it's
yeah,
it's interesting. It's fun for him. It's not like he literally is a Satanist.
Wouldn't mind if he was.
Right. No, neither would I. But it's super interesting that he thinks it's all a fairy tale. He thinks it all, and he credits a lot of authors. Like I've talked to him. I talk to him all the time. I call him up and ask him questions all the fucking time.
That's awesome.
I love him. He's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
And he teaches me a lot of stuff. And like I ask other people that I know who are like super
Being a nurse means being focused on others. At Post
Yes, right, exactly. Now here's the thing. The devil gives me the material, and I give it to Danny. Oh, it's the most gorgeous situation. I can sit between heaven and earth, and I can just float. It's fantastic, people. You have to understand the physics of the Dawnbringer. Yes, right? Eosphoros exists before Jesus, before Yahoo. All of your oracular cult is from the horned god of the underworld, the Chthonian Zeus. Do you understand? This is all from the text, people. Right? So, as a dragon guarding that source, as a dragon who doesn't let anybody near that fleece, right? Because that fleece has to remain untouched. Our evidence, people, just like the wizard was talking about, our primary evidence is most important, right? I can't touch those texts, just like he can't touch the chemistry that he does, right? He can't violate those natural laws. He can work with them. He can manipulate. He can use the natural power that's there, right? And he knows that it's an inborn part of him. The wizard has taken that in through nature. No different than you looking into the eyes of your beloved. Right? No different. Oh, it's God. It's gorgeous. Yeah, because it's real, right? Now, right? You must understand, Hail Satan. Right? You must understand that tradition that is Saturnian or satanic has its own vocabulary. It has its own master roots, like the Sigma Tau Rho roots, Danny and Hamilton. If you just take those roots, you can trace the history of the pharmacology of the culture. Historia is what you ask the prophetess. It is your question. She is the Sotera, the Savior. She will put you into a state of oistros, What is oestrus? It's the gadfly. It's their word for the gadfly. And the gadfly stings. Right? What does the gadfly do? The gadfly brings you the satanic vision. Is Satan real? Satan is as real as the sunlight that you're absorbing right now. Oh, God. Love it. Don't you see? You keep your hand on the wire, people, because the drugs will explain everything to us. Christing is not just a drug. It's a sex drug, people. Why do you think it gives me such great pleasure to be able to talk about Jesus, the sex drugged? Next to you, big crowds standing around, and they're all screaming, "Crucify this a-hole." Right? Crucify this a-hole. Crucify him with the other lace dye. Right? Oh, that's the point I wanted to make. Now, am I dead or Hamill? Am I in and out? Yeah. Okay, good. We're good now, people. Nice piloting, Chewy. Listen to me. Listen to me, Hamilton. There is a much better way for you to determine the meaning of lace days than by reading some kind of consensus or looking in lexica. There's a much better way. It just so happens at the very same time, Hamilton, that the Gospels and the Bible, New Testament, is being written, somebody is writing an entire book on a lace days, saying, let me show you exactly what a lace days is. You mean we have an entire book? We don't have to worry about definitions. F those definitions. You've got an entire book. Defines it. His name is Alexander, and he's a false prophet who is going around with boys, handsome boys that he imports, supported by wealthy elite. Fantastic. Nothing like having a Lydia around. Do you understand? When you're dosing and you're totally immune to the venom, right? It has nothing to do with one hit, and you don't swallow the 7. You put them up your butt. Okay? Don't blame me. Don't blame me. I'm not recommending this to anyone. Hey, look. Are we back? Oh, God. Joey evaded that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's do this. Joey, put up Danny, and let's keep talking to Danny. Here we go. Fantastic. Yes. I know. Joey's pushing all the buttons and doing
knowledgeable and study this stuff for their entire lives, like the Bible and Greek myths and Greek literature and stuff like that. And I often get a lot of corroboration on the things that he says. For example, like this ancient writer Nonus, who wrote in like the 2nd or 3rd century about how the sponge that was offered to Jesus was an antidote to the snake venom. And there was like a literal Greek passage that was translated, and he used the words antidote that was on the sponge that was given to him. And he was, according to multiple authors, he was on the cross and he was like dying of thirst. Like he was extremely thirsty, which was apparently that's a side effect of a certain viper venom. I think even you said in the pufferfish documentary that was one of the side effects of the pufferfish venom. But again, who knows what the fuck was going on 2,000 years ago? But it's like there's a lot of corroboration here, and it's a decent hypothesis at the very least.
Fantastic. Right. The dipsas, right, that causes the extreme polydipsia. Right, that's the technical term that they made up for the thirst that you get that is unrelenting, right? You just can't. The person, they say, will burst their stomach, right, trying to drink. So that's why a lot of the times in these rites, these people are restrained, right? There have to be, there's medical extremes you're going to, and that polydipsia is one of them. And so Jesus is sitting there on the cross screaming out he's thirsty, right? Well, how come the other two traffickers next to him, how come they're not screaming out in thirst, right? How come they don't die when Jesus does, right? They're still sitting there looking at him like, huh? Right? And the guards come by and like, he's already dead, right? Jesus does not die from crucifixion. He dies early. They don't break his legs because they don't have to. He's already dead. And when he dies, boom, he's screaming. He's screaming. And what language is Jesus Christ screaming in? He's screaming in magic. Do you understand me? He's screaming in the tongue of the Greek that uses the incantations in the Greek magical papyri. He is praying to the devil. He is praying to the one we mentioned before, Sabachthon. Sabachthon. Oh, God. They'll catch up eventually, people, right? They'll catch up eventually, and they will discover the Saturnian religion. Oh, God. Fantastic. Fantastic. Beautiful mass today. Who is that? Ah, fantastic. Love it. Love it. I can't see because of the glare, but that's okay. Go. Give me a little bit more. Oh, that's gorgeous. Doesn't Chewy do a good job?
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about this to say, but I could see, I mean, are you familiar with the origin of consciousness and the breakdown of the bicameral mind? Do you know about this?
Not.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll stop right there. And now I promised you a passage. So Chewy, I want you to do this. I want you to go. Oh, look, you've got some right there. People, here, stop with that one. People, look at Prometheus here. This is just, we're just looking at Christ. It's more Christ. Just look at the line in orange. This is from Aeschylus's Prometheus Bound, right? Right. And if you knew Prometheus, you'd know Eosphoros. Do you understand? Prometheus here. It's in the hymns, people. We'll cover it another time. Look at here. Christon, he's saying. Piston al pharmacon. Oh, no. Is this Christ around drugs again? Remember what Wesley Buff Huff said? He said, you're not going to find this. What did Bart say? Oh, God, you're not going to find this before the Septuagint. These Christings are not going to exist, and they're not going to be around drugs. Here's what I have to say in return. I have been searching now for a long time using the TLG, and I am having a difficult time finding a single reference to where the Christ is divorced from some kind of drug. It's not only part of its nature, it is its nature. Oh, God. What is this one from? This one's from Aeschylus, people. All you lazy classicists that we just sent out to slaughter yesterday, why don't you start reading your junk? Why don't you start having some appreciation for the sacred nature of Mother Greek? You guys are disgusting, despicable, right? What are the uses of these drugs? Oh, are they Christ's, right? What kind of drugs are these? Let's go to the next one. Go to another one. I just want to send you a couple of these, people, just to pepper you. Oh, look, what are we doing here? We're with a chorus. And we are what? Oh, God, there's love, erotes. Don't you love it when the first word is eros, erotic. Oh, God. And look at the third line. Cyprus is there. Oh, when Aphrodite is there, you'd know the shit is going to get good. You know what I mean? And what is she doing here? Aphrodite is Christing people, right? Right? The Eucharistic God is Christing. Look at the third line. Look at the second to last word. Did you know that's the word for Eucharist? Did you know Eucharist and Christing have to do with Aphrodite, have to do with Eros and the arrows? The arrows, look at the last word. Oh my God. Arrows with what? Toxon, apheis, himeroi, chrysasa. What is she doing? She is the Christ, and she is bringing the arrows of sexual desire. Do you understand that? Oh God, this is golden Aphrodite, people. You didn't know. That's why you and Jesus, okay, take it off. That's why you and Jesus will never, by the way, people, that's, 500 years before Jesus, right? You will never know where your religion came from. You will never understand how your faith is a creation of an unreality. Your Christ doesn't exist. Now you understand why he was in a public park before sunrise, performing a ritual with a naked boy and with a bunch of other boys still dressed but passed out. Yeah. And the mob won because Christing is sex. And anybody in any generation hates child trafficking. Especially with Christ. Do you understand? Danny Hamilton, please understand. Jesus is a lestase. And that lestase is defined by sheer gorgeous musery. We have an entire book that defines what a lestase is. And when you see that Jesus is doing exactly the same things this dude is doing, don't be surprised to find out that this example is an example of what not to do. What is awful. Do you know who you want to kill? It's not somebody who's murdered. It's a dude who messes around with kids by Christing. Do you understand? It is erotic from its very origins. Yes, world, your Jesus is a pervert, hyped up on sex drugs with children, pre-sunrise, public park. Now, if you don't think it feels, really good to do that, you don't know. The drug of the gadfly, you don't know it. Is Lucifer real? Yeah. And you and your surroundings are just a reflection of his reality. Oh, God. Hail Satan. You'd know it. You know it, right? It was all the sexy angels. Didn't anybody tell you that? It was all the sexy angels that fell. Right? Didn't you see Eve? Yeah. Right? You know what your purpose is, to bring that out of her. Oh, God, that voice. Oh, God. Oh, right? You want the book of Zoe. You husbands who missed the book that your wife had to offer, right? Nice choice, ladies. Right? Get your shit together. Go. Give me the next one. Oh, yes. Here, I am the Christ, right? Let's go. I want to prove everybody here. I want to put to bed right now. Nope. Right now, the debate. I need you to go to the internet. Stop. Go to, here, people. I'm going to go to Septuagint. And I'm going to use this side. And I want Malachi. Right. Boom. Let's see if it brings it up. There it is. Now I want the 8th verse, I believe. Blow it up. So here, blow it up and put it on 8. Let's see. Nowhere to go. Here, we're looking for sirens, people. Oh, God. Here, let them share this so I can share it with them, please. People, let me show you what we've got here. We've got the Septuagint, right? Oh, there, and this site is terrible. By the way, this site is terrible for ads. Like every time you change the page, a new ad comes up. These people are prostituting the Septuagint like you can't believe, man. They're just prostituting like you can't believe. It's amazing. I mean, oh, you watch, up will come an ad. Anyway, there's some words here I want you to see. Blow it up for me, sweetie, so I can actually see it. Oh, good. Yeah, so look at the end of verse 8. I just want you to see before 9, the word pantocrator. Now you know what God we're dealing with. And this God is angry. He's angry at Samaria. He's angry at Jerusalem. And people, just look down here, highlight that word, highlight this word. He's angry because of all those sacrifices. Right? What are the people doing? They're doing their porneia. Right? They're doing their porneia. Where the hell is here? I can't see it. Okay. Nope. Give me a second. Let me just scan it. Oh, here's the Thusiasterion in 10. Right. All right. People, how do they see? Talking about the devil. How do you talk to God? You have to do it through this device, right? You got to go to the Pantocrator through the Thusiasterion, right? It's got an enclitic following it, so it's got a double accent, right? We've got where's all the sexery? Did I miss the sexery? Oh, son of a... Okay. Here, camera went off. Find me the siren. Here, just tell people. Hang on. Give it to me. I need to see it. Is it Micah or Malachi? Oh, it was on the other page. Okay, here. I think we're in a tailspin here. Chewy says, "Give me a second. Let me find my text." We're in a tailspin. Just give me a second. Let me find my text. I should have had this. Chewy, we should have had this law booted up for people. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, now I can't find it. Maybe it was too... Boom, boom, boom. Oh. Here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find the sirens. Because the sirens are there, people. So what am I doing? I'm going to use one passage of the Septuagint, and I'm going to show you that it's native Greek, that it can't be Hebrew, right? And I'm going to show you what happened when the Hebrew translation was made by the people who were living in the caves. And I seen the people who were the extremists, right, who were copying the Greek text out into the very fragmentary 7,000 word Hebrew that they're managing to come up with. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have to track down. I'm going to have to track down. Let me see if I can do this. Usually people, I have this stuff already for you. So let me just do it myself here. I'm with the sirens now. Tell me, where's the passage? Yes, no, that's Isaiah. I'm not looking for Isaiah. I'm looking for Malachi, one of the Micah, one of the minor prophets. Son of a... No, they're not going to have it. Darn it. One more time. Putting it. Nope. 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 There it is. Nope. That's not it. No, it appears a lot, people, but it's not. Okay, let me just give it to you. There's a minor prophet. I'm a little bit embarrassed because I usually bring the passage for you already uploaded. There's a passage in one of the minor prophets, I believe it's Malachi, and he's talking about sirens, right? He's talking about sirens who are performing acts of idolatry, acts of porneia, acts of drug use. And these acts are all embodied in this rite that God hates and is going to destroy. Now, what's funny is the word dragons, it's got the word dragons and sirens in it. And if you understand, I'm so mad that I can't find this. If you understand everything that we have been looking at with drugs and with cult and religion and the mystery, if you understand how it is that you enter that place that you're able to talk to God. If you understand all of that tech, all of that cult drug tech, right? The passage makes perfect sense with sirens and dragons. But the Hebrew concepts, a siren is a very specific concept. It is that attractive song. It is that voice that lures. It is that natural power of the woman's voice. And dragons, what are dragons? They're the guardians, those temple guardians who are keeping these songs and using the drugs that are in their mystery traditions. Now, what did the Hebrew do with this text? What did the Hebrew do with the text? It translated as ostriches, sirens as ostriches. And you read this, go look it up. Just look up ostrich. That's what you can do, Satanic Congregation. Help me find this lost passage by looking up ostriches in the King James, right? Ostriches and jackals. You know how they translated the dragons? Jackals. It's not even remotely close. And the passage makes no sense with ostriches. Wait, what? We're going to destroy the cults in Jerusalem and Samaria. We're going to destroy those cults that are drug-using mystery cults that involve porneia, that is sexuality. We're going to destroy them. And how are we going to reference them? We're going to reference them as ostriches. Just grab those ostriches and start doing your thing. Wait, what? Did they chase after ostriches in this? No. It's because the Hebrew translation of the original Greek is incapable of transmitting the Greek. Right? They have no word for priestess who brings the voice of attraction to the world that ends in doom and death. They have no word for that. Are you kidding? What kind of natural concept is that? Right? That's physics advanced. You just can't do anything. When you're talking about tohu wabohu and akataskelostos and aoratos, those are not the same words. You cannot take a simple concept in a text and translate it into something that is more complex than the original. You are not translating, you are augmenting. All right. And unfortunately, with the 7,000 words that are left in Hebrew, there's got to be a lot of, augmentation, right? Even to the English, right? Right? Translating from the Hebrew to the English. Look at the King James. Just look at it, dude. Oh, God, these people, right? Right? Don't you love it? I get to hold your Bible. I'm holding your Bible and I'm holding Jesus right now. He's in my lap. He's in my lap. You can't see him, but he's there. Yeah. You want to guess what he's doing? I own Jesus, the perverted sex drug Christ. I own him. Let's do this. Don't you love? That's why people love to watch. Do you understand, you perverts? It's because you love to see me dominate Jesus. You love to see me dominate it, Danny. Danny, devil's ready. Devil's ready to show you Jesus. By the way, the devil says there's a special throne in hell on which the orange Hitler sits while the maggots eat his guts. Oh God, devil, imagery. Now, when you see it, Danny, don't be surprised. Give me the next one. Oh, is that? Oh, did we have the? Oh no, we didn't have it. That's the right. Yeah, look at this, people. Go ahead and put that up. Yeah. People, everything you've been lied to about is this whole I am that I am bullshit. It's one of the things that comes out of the faked Hebrew from the Septuagint of the Old Testament, right? It's one of the things that comes out of it. The Greek is not using it in any way, shape, or form like it's described to you. I am the I am. Bullshit, right? It's an artistic form used for emphasis where you are focusing in the speech on the individual, right? As an eidolon. Ego emiho Christos, I, myself, right? Look at me. Hold my image. That is the one who is Christed. Right? Jesus wasn't walking around. The monists are so stupid. Jesus wasn't walking around saying, Jesus Christ. First name, sir, what's it say on your passport? First name, Jesus. Last name, Christ. What's the F stand for? Right? That's not how it's being used. It's not how it's being used. That's why when Bart was stumbling and fumbling with the Greek, oh God, I would have given him a C, dude. If he was one of my students, I would have given him a C. I could not have given him an A for that, right? That's what I was trying to say last time. Yeah, when you turn it into a name, now he's concerned. Is this thing a verb? He says, no, the Christon here is a verb. It's a verb. No, it's actually not. I mean, that's like we learned that the second week of class, bro. Right? That's an adjective. Okay. Right? Oh God. The tau, he didn't even realize the tau is not part of it. It's just an adjectival ending, bro. Right? Oh, God. I'm telling you. Right? You've got to perform. That's what we have. We just have to throw these passages at people and say, can you fucking read this? Right? Oh, by the way, everybody at Lady Babylon is working hard now and is doing the Greek. I'm gonna get Am and you up and going again. Oh God, I sound like them. And you, I'm gonna get it up and going again. Right? We'll continue. I'm just gonna do random chapters from the intensive course just so people can meander. Right? Because I know you love to meander so much. It's one of the things that you love, right? I'm really embarrassed that did anybody find Satanic Congregation? Come on, you guys, just sitting there. Did anybody find where that is? It's one of the minor prophets, Malachi or Micah, one of the two. I can't remember. I had it the other day. I should have brought it. Yeah, where are the ostriches? Look for the ostriches in the King James Version. No, that's Echidna. Now Chewy's just going through a whole bunch of, oh God. See if they look at it and see if they figured out where it is. People, come on. Get off your butts and help me here. Right? Micah 1:8. Oh God, who was that? Put that bastard. Thank you very much, Deacon Beancooter. Wow, what an interesting image. That was worth it just for the image. Beancooter. I wonder what a beancooter. Okay. Yeah, that's it. 137. No, it's hang on. Yeah, let's just go to 1. Go to 1. Malachi 1:37. Oh God. No, bring back up the Septuagint. Boom. It's 1. the first? Oh, no, this is Micah. This is Malachi. We need Micah. Go back. Oh, you're going to have to put in Septuagint. Right. And then Micah. Good. Beautiful. Thank you, Chewy. Thank you so much, people. I appreciate the fact that you are willing to sit here while I diddle with my piddle-dee. Oh, God, I should not have said that. I hope that lady didn't hear that. Some lady just pulled up next to me. I hope that, okay, if I get surrounded, no. Look, nothing funny going on here, right? It's education. I meant my piddle-dee intellectually. You know what I mean? God, people are weird, dude. No, I don't want that one. No, I got to go here. Right here. Boom. Boom. And people I know, you're so generous. Let's blow it up. Where's the 8 here? Henneken to the kopsetai threne? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Who's naked? Yeah, go ahead. People, let's look at a couple of things that are going on. I'm looking for, oh, I know. See how the advertising does it? Look, you greedy people. Blow up the Greek. We don't need the English translation here is pretty damn literal. It's a pretty reliable one. Blow it up, Chewy. I can't see it for Jack. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay, people, look at verse 8 and look at the third line down in verse 8. It's the fourth line down on the page. Drakonton, right? Kai penthos hostugateron serenon. Now, look at the last word in that line right before the 9, serenon. What are we getting? What are we getting? We're getting daughters of sirens and dragons who were doing stuff. What is the first word on the third line? Frenese. What are these people doing? They're threnotic. They are entering stages of mourning, and they're doing it naked, walking around with little feet without any shoes on, naked. Wait, what? What kind of plague is this? He says. Judah's given us. Right? Oh, God. Now keep going down. Let's see. There's another one. They come up against Sinan Kopsase. This is gorgeous. Oh, God. What's the punishment that we're looking for here? Wait, just blow it up. This is what I want to do. Okay, people. Look at this phrase. Okay. Now, I just want to tell you, this cannot be mistaken in Greek. Right? What are these people doing? They're acting like these daughters of the sirens. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you. Look up Bible Hub Micah 1:8. Bible Hub Micah 1:8. And watch what happens. Watch the transformation, people. Now, if you think that this is originally Hebrew, right, you're going to look like a fool now. Now, go to the Hebrew so that people can make sure they see it. H-E-B. Where'd it go? There. Boom, Hebrew. Boom. Fantastic, people. Now, just walk it down. Oh, I thought they were watching us. They weren't watching us while we're doing that. Okay. Look, people, here's Micah 1:8. And I just want you to see at the bottom. I want you to look at the very bottom of the verse because that's where the sirens are that we're talking about. And well, what do we have? What is this word? Ya'ana. What is a ya'ana? In the Hebrew, it's an ostrich. What is going on? We've got jackals and ostriches because we only have 7,000 words. Now, people, if you really think, now I need to switch it, so stop sharing and switch to the Greek. If you really think they made ostriches when they were referring to the sirens within a rite where they're porneia, this is what I can't figure out. What are you doing with ostriches in porneia, people? What, is God mad because you're humping ostriches in temples? What the hell is going on? Did nobody see when this shit was translated into Hebrew that there was something wrong? Oh my God. And I say shit affectionately because I love these texts, people. I love these texts. But people, you're ridiculous. The Hebrew is an insufficient translation made hundreds of years after the Greek original, which makes perfect sense. These are cults that have sprung up in Samaria and Jerusalem, right? And we are trying to stop their porneia, these daughters of sirens who sing to us God's voice. We're trying to stop them. They are not ostriches, people. If you believe the Masoretic text published in 1000-ish Anno Domini AD, then eat your ostriches. Go to your temples and make love to your ostriches. Or don't. That's what Yahoo's telling you not to do. Don't go make love to the ostriches in the temples. Right? Don't be dragons. Now, jackals. Wait, what? Do you know why they put jackals there? It was the closest thing to a temple guardian they knew. They had in their vocabulary. Do you see how the Hebrew is attempting to translate the perfect Greek original? Oh, God. They're going to get it. Okay, we got to go. It's time. Thank you, Satanic Congregation and Bean Booty or whatever. Deacon Bean something. Bean Hopper? Deacon Bean Hopper. No, Hooter. Cooter. Thank you, Dean Cooter. It was nice to be able to look at the passage, right? Let's just start reading together. Let's just start translating. Somebody said, there was a Reddit page, and somebody on the Reddit page had put, they want me to make a translation of the Septuagint, right? And they put it they asked an AI, how can we do this? And the AI said it will take your average person an entire day to translate 2 or 3 lines. No, AI, right? Let's show the AI and let me just start bringing passages that I can just throw to you, and we can just, I don't know, read a little story together so that you can see what the act of translation is actually like, right? And for my students, this will be helpful, right? So I plan on bringing you an entire narrative that we will just kind of feel our way through. And I promise you it will have drugs and it will have porneia. Yeah, drugs and porneia. Maybe some fire from Uranus, right? Just the right chemical concoction. Are we ready to die? Oh, okay. Falcon's going down. Thank you for coming today, people. Thank you for putting up with the interruptions. We'll edit those out. And hail Satan.
Lovely Diana, reign with magic, death inducer. Darkest dreams come true, kisses for you. Her arrows darken the sky, a flight of ravens flying through. Ophir harp, dark lord melody shining through. Death inducer, raining blood, bite your lip. Bellissima in the vampire dress, cracking leather whips. Rain with your magic. Hail Satan, spells of Lucifer. Hail Satan, captain of the wheel. Hail Satan, the lake of fire is clear. Sing the muse. Rain with magic, death inducer. Darkest dreams come true, kisses for you. Goat head soup, it's magic. You can have a ball, giant rubber. devil in a tight dress, whiplash. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Mr. Sandman with the hot purple anointing cream, it knocks him out. The drugs weigh a ton. Snow blonde, do your makeup. Girl, be my private dancer. Hecate says I'm her main squeeze. Lucifer, the light bearer. Myrtle of Venus.